周一長談同大家深入時事話題。最近聯邦政府準備修改條例，同意等我哋嘅公民同移民部可以為咗調查同埋認證嘅目的，將我哋個人嘅資料同外國政府交換。呢個消息一傳咗出嚟之後，國會嘅反對人士啦，同埋呢個法律界嘅人士，大家都提出好嚴重嘅質疑。到底咁嘅做法係保障我哋加拿大嘅安全啦，抑或係侵犯到我哋國民嘅權益同埋我哋國民嘅隱私權啊？我哋今日請到國會自由黨嘅國會議員，為我哋傾下佢嘅睇法。我哋大家一齊歡迎Joyce Murray。Joyce, welcome to our program. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, BC.
Yeah, let's jump right into the topic. Recently, what really got the media's focus is under the C-24. It gives the authority to the immigration department. The Ministry of Immigration, really to exchange information with foreign countries. And that gives a lot of alert to a lot of lawyers and particularly to many immigrants. What is your take on that? Because the Minister of Immigration and the Citizenship, he said that it is really just to verify citizens' status and answer other identities. Are you satisfied with that explanation? What is your take on that?
No, I'm not satisfied. We need to make sure that Canadian laws are respected in terms of the privacy of personal information. And talking about how Canada will share this information. I mean, there's other countries that have far more invasive laws, like the United States, for example. And so Canada must respect our laws, not hand over information in a way that would be more invasive of citizens' privacy. So I think what we haven't seen yet is a clarity as to what would be the boundaries, what kinds of information, and to whom would it be shared. And I think there's a number of ways in which Canadian citizens are concerned that governments are collecting their massive amounts of their personal information, and it's very unclear how that information is, how long it's held, and who it can be shared with. So I think that this has to be clarified, and it has to respect Canadian laws for how we treat our citizens.
Well, the government has repeatedly said that it will, although the regulation itself is still in the making, but it will be in accordance to the norm and the law of Canada and international practice. So right now, what are the norms and regulations that define and protect the privacy of our citizens?
Well, the way the minister's worded it is very loose. I mean, we need the minister to define what the norm is, or to tell us what they see that to be. And when they say of Canada and internationally, that's where concerns come in, because the norms in some other countries are far more invasive. I think that this ties into the concern that citizens have that the Foreign Intelligence Agency in Canada has been tracking Canadians' communications.
Yes.
And so it's not healthy for a democracy to have more and more government control over our information and our communications, and government ability to share that with other agencies in other countries. So I think it's important that the citizenship minister be very specific so we can see what is intended here.
What are the specific items that you would like to him to clarify? Because those regulations will have to be passed by the parliament, or they can just announce it.
Well, regulations don't have to be passed by Parliament. So regulations are signed off by by Cabinet. So Bill C-24 has some things in it that are, I think, very concerning. And for example, the ability of the minister to revoke citizenship of dual citizens. So how many people in Greater Vancouver hold dual citizenship? Probably close to half. So what we are afraid of is that this bill is creating two classes of citizen. So if you're a Canadian citizen with no other passport or citizenship, you're in a different class. You cannot have your citizenship revoked by the minister, but if you hold another passport or can be claimed to be a citizen of another country, then you're suddenly vulnerable to the minister revoking your passport. So I think that is a deep erosion of the quality of Canadian citizenship.
Well, thank you for clarifying that when we passed the C-24, there was a lot of hidden spots and that the power and the authority has been already given to the cabinets through the passing of C-24, and they can make regulations that doesn't need any approval from the parliament. And that is a very key point for us to understand how our process works. So, but when it comes to this particular sharing informations, what you would like to see, as you said, specifics. What specifically you want the minister to clarify?
Well, what kind of information does he empower his office to share, for what kinds of reasons, and with whom? I think we should understand exactly what the parameters are, not have it be vaguely talking about norms and international protocols. No, what information, why, for what purpose, and with whom?
One of the arguments that comes from the government is that because a lot of lawyers already challenged the Charter of Rights for Canadians, but they said when they exchange this information is to verify those who are residents and applying for Canadian citizenship. So they are legally not a Canadian citizen yet. So how do you take on this? Is that yes, we need to protect Canadians, but before you become a Canadian, that we need to verify everything. And so we share the, even if it's almost like, even if it is in breach of the Charter of Human Rights, or protect the privacy of our citizens, it's okay. What is your take on that?
Well, this is a complex area, obviously. We want to make sure that that people that are coming to Canada are providing accurate information and are planning to build their lives and genuinely raise their families and contribute to the country and enjoy the privileges of being Canadian citizens. So we need to make sure that our laws are fair. And one of the concerns that I have is that there is so much sharing of information between agencies now that and we saw the with the Snowden leaks, we saw a discussion about the Canadian Security Establishment, which is our foreign intelligence spy agency, utilizing people's electronic equipment to track their communications. And that's, I see that as an invasion of personal privacy. We know that Citizenship Canada and the Public Safety Canada, the spy agencies, the RCMP, all collect information on Canadians and share that information. So you may not be aware, BC, but I've just tabled a bill in the House of Commons that would create a committee of parliamentarians who would be providing oversight on that kind of collection of information of our spy agencies and our other agencies.
I was just about to ask you the question about who is overlooking the whole things about exchanging informations, because those are almost like in-house of the departments. They can do it themselves, but who is overlooking it? I'm glad to see that there is a new bill that will create a new entity who can take a look at that.
Well, we have far less oversight then our allies in the UK, America, Australia, etc., all have stronger systems for having parliamentary oversight of the agencies that monitor and collect data of Canadians. And we have not had that in Canada. So that's why my bill would put in place a very similar framework to the UK. But so that's one of the concerns about private information being collected by the citizenship ministry, is that it can be shared with the RCMP, the other intelligence agencies, and we don't know whether that's happening, how much of that's happening. And so a piece of information, by collecting information, the agencies can put together pieces of a puzzle and make decisions about people that may be inaccurate. And there's no way to know where that came from and how to fight against it if it's unfair.
Yes, thank you very much. We'll take a break and we'll come back. I have more questions to ask about this sharing of information. 就係長談我哋上半段到呢處為止，我哋一陣間同大家繼續再傾下我哋呢啲咁嘅新嘅條例對於我哋嘅隱私權係咪真係有所侵犯呢？